Have you ever wondered why your kidneys can quietly fail even when you think you're eating healthy? You wake up each morning believing that a banana, an orange, or a handful of melon is doing your body good. But what if I told you that some of those same fruits could be silently poisoning your kidneys right now, and you wouldn't feel a single symptom until it's almost too late? I'm Dr. Richard Hale, and after 25 years of treating patients with kidney disease, I can tell you this: the danger isn't always in what we do wrong. It's often in what we do right, but in the wrong way. Millions of Americans are living with early kidney damage and have absolutely no idea. Their blood tests may look fine. Their energy seems normal. They're drinking water, eating clean, doing everything by the book. And yet deep inside, their kidneys are quietly losing ground every single day. Here's the truth most people never hear until it's too late. You can lose up to 90% of your kidney function before you ever feel a thing. No pain, no warning, no clue. By the time fatigue shows up or swelling in your ankles, the damage has already been building for years. And the worst part, many of the foods we've been told are healthy, the smoothies, the juices, the fruit bowls are loaded with minerals that can overwhelm aging kidneys and push them toward failure. I've seen it happen countless times in my own clinic. Patients who thought they were doing everything right, cutting salt, avoiding red meat, exercising, still watch their creatinine levels climb. And when they finally asked me why, the answer broke their hearts. It wasn't their bad habits. It was their good ones done without understanding what their kidneys could handle. But don't lose hope. Because just as there are fruits that can quietly destroy your kidneys, there are others that can heal them, lowering creatinine, reducing inflammation, and even helping restore lost filtration power naturally. Today, I'm going to show you exactly which ones they are, how they work, and how to use them safely without giving up the foods you love. So if you've ever felt confused about what's truly healthy, stay with me. Because the difference between decline and recovery might be sitting right on your kitchen counter, disguised as a piece of fruit. And that's where our story begins, inside the quiet daily choices that decide whether your kidneys age faster or finally start to heal. Let's start with something simple, familiar, and often overlooked: the humble apple. Most people see it as just another fruit, but for your kidneys, it's a silent hero. Think of the apple as your body's gentle cleanser, quietly scrubbing away the toxins that build up in your bloodstream every single day. When you bite into a crisp apple, you're not just eating fiber and sweetness, you're giving your kidneys a break. Apples are naturally low in potassium, around 195 milligrams per medium fruit, making them safe even for those with stage 3 or 4 kidney disease. But the real magic lies in the peel. That thin, colorful skin contains pectin, a powerful soluble fiber that acts like a magnet for waste. It binds to excess phosphorus and cholesterol in your gut and carries them out of your body before they ever reach your kidneys. Imagine it as a tiny filtration assistant working in harmony with your body's own system. Science backs this up. A study in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that people who consumed 25 to 30 grams of fruit fiber daily had significantly lower phosphorus levels and reduced kidney stress. Another study from Free Radical Biology and Medicine discovered that apple antioxidants, especially quercetin and chlorogenic acid, reduced inflammation in kidney tissue by up to 35%. That's not a coincidence. That's food working like medicine. And the best part, apples have a naturally low glycemic index, around 30 to 40. They release sugar, slowly helping to prevent blood sugar spikes that damage kidney blood vessels, a key factor for anyone managing diabetes-related kidney decline. In fact, long-term studies show that people who eat 1 apple a day have nearly a 20% lower risk of developing chronic kidney disease. It's a simple ritual: 1 apple a day, with the peel eaten slowly. Morning or evening doesn't matter. Consistency does. You're not just maintaining your kidneys, you're giving them a moment to breathe, to rest, to renew. So the next time you pass by a bowl of apples, don't underestimate it. That simple piece of fruit might be doing more for your kidneys than any supplement ever could. But just knowing about apples isn't enough, because the next fruit on our list doesn't just protect, it repairs. And it's smaller, darker, and far more powerful than you might think. If apples are your body's gentle cleanser, then blueberries are your silent guardians, small, unassuming, yet fiercely protective where it matters most. These tiny deep blue gems have the power to reach places in your body that few nutrients ever can. They don't just sit in your bloodstream, they cross into your kidney tissue itself, guarding those delicate filters that keep your blood clean. I often tell my patients don't underestimate the quiet ones. Blueberries are low in potassium, barely 57 milligrams per half cup, and their phosphorus content is almost non-existent, which makes them one of the safest fruits for kidney health. But their true strength lies in their color. That deep indigo shade comes from anthocyanins, natural pigments, that act like shields against inflammation and oxidative stress. The two silent assassins of kidney cells. One of my patients, Susan, a retired teacher, learned this the hard way. Her creatinine kept rising, even though she thought she was eating healthy. When we replaced her morning banana smoothie with half a cup of blueberries 3 to 4 times a week, everything changed. 6 months later, her filtration rate stabilized for the first time in years. She told me, "Doctor, it feels like my body stopped fighting itself." That's what blueberries do. They calm the storm inside. Science agrees. A Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry study showed that blueberry anthocyanins reduced kidney-damaging inflammatory cytokines by nearly 47% in just a few weeks. Another from nutrition research found that regular blueberry eaters improved their long-term blood sugar control by 23%, a crucial factor for diabetic kidney protection. Even small blood pressure drops 4 to 6 points translate into real defense for your filtration membranes. Every steady heartbeat means less strain, more life. And here's what I love most: you don't need to do anything complicated. Fresh or frozen, both work. Freezing doesn't destroy their protective compounds. Just half a cup mixed into oatmeal yogurt or eaten alone can make a measurable difference. So think of blueberries as your daily bodyguards, small enough to forget, strong enough to matter. They protect your cells quietly, faithfully, one antioxidant at a time. But only knowing about protection isn't enough, because the next fruit doesn't just defend, it repairs. It switches on your body's hidden self-healing mechanism, and most people have no idea it's sitting right on their grocery shelf. If blueberries are your silent guardians, then red grapes are your body's cellular healers, elegant, vibrant, and quietly working beneath the surface to bring your kidneys back to life. Most people think of grapes as just a snack, something sweet to enjoy after dinner. But inside those thin red and purple skins lies one of the most extraordinary healing compounds nature ever created: resveratrol. Resveratrol is the same antioxidant that made red wine famous for heart health. But what many people don't realize is that it also protects your kidneys at the cellular level. When your kidneys are under constant attack from high blood pressure, diabetes, or inflammation, your cells go into defense mode. Resveratrol steps in and activates a family of proteins called sirtuins, particularly one known as SIRTA1, that help repair DNA damage, calm inflammation, and restore your body's natural balance. It's like flipping your cell's self-repair switch. In a clinical study published in Kidney International, people with chronic kidney disease who consumed resveratrol, equivalent to a small serving of red grapes each day, improved their kidney function by an average of 22% within 6 months. That's a measurable difference, not theory, not hope, but data-backed healing. But grapes do more than activate cellular repair. Their polyphenols strengthen your blood vessels, especially the tiny ones inside your kidneys called glomeruli. These microfilters are the heart of your body's cleansing system, and when they stay flexible and strong, your kidneys can do their job efficiently. Even better, grapes are naturally hydrating, about 84% water, which means they help your body flush toxins gently without putting extra pressure on your system. One of my patients, Elaine, 68, began eating 15 to 20 red grapes a few times a week after dinner. Within 3 months, her swelling reduced, her energy returned, and her labs showed progress. She smiled and said, "Doctor, I finally feel like I'm healing from the inside out." That's exactly what grapes do. They don't just support your kidneys, they reawaken them. Choose dark red or purple grapes for the most resveratrol color equals chemistry. Eat them with the skin on in small handfuls 2 to 3 times per week. They're not just fruit, they're medicine wrapped in sweetness. But as powerful as grapes are, the next fruit in this healing lineup might surprise you because it doesn't just protect or repair. It resets inflammation itself, turning down the very fire that drives kidney decline. And this tropical healer tastes like sunshine. If red grapes are the body's cellular healers, then pineapple is its tropical, anti-inflammatory, bright, refreshing, and quietly powerful. Most people think of pineapple as a vacation treat, something to enjoy on a beach or in a smoothie. But in the world of kidney health, this fruit is pure medicine, disguised as pleasure. Unlike most tropical fruits, pineapple is surprisingly low in potassium, around 180 milligrams per cup, which makes it one of the safest sweet options for anyone protecting their kidneys. But its real gift lies in a unique enzyme called bromelain. Found mostly in the fruit's fibrous core, bromelain acts like a natural cleanup crew inside your body. It breaks down inflammatory proteins, reduces swelling, and helps your kidneys release excess fluid without strain. It's gentle but powerful, a detox that doesn't deplete. In a 2022 study published in Biotechnology Research International, patients who supplemented with bromelain experienced up to a 42% reduction in inflammatory markers linked to kidney disease, alongside measurable improvements in filtration rate. Another trial from Clinical Nutrition found that bromelain lowered C-reactive protein, one of the most reliable signals of chronic inflammation, within just 4 weeks. Those aren't small shifts. They're signs that the body's returning to equilibrium. And here's what makes pineapple truly special. It pairs nature's enzyme therapy with vitamin C's antioxidant shield, roughly 78 milligrams per cup. Together, they form a dynamic duo, clearing what's already damaged and protecting what still works. Many of my patients tell me the same story. After adding a few slices of fresh pineapple 2 or 3 times a week, they notice their hands feel lighter, their ankles less puffy, their energy calmer but steadier. One woman said, "It feels like my body is exhaling for the first time in years." That's what real healing feels like, relief that starts deep inside. The key, though, is freshness. Canned pineapple loses nearly all its bromelain during processing. Always slice it yourself and include part of the core where the enzyme lives. Half to 1 cup 2 or 3 times a week is all you need. So when you crave something sweet, skip the syrup and reach for pineapple instead. It tastes like summer, but works like science. Yet knowing what to eat is only half the battle, because how you combine and rotate these fruits can amplify their healing power far beyond what any single one can do alone. Now that you know the 4 healing fruits, the real secret isn't just what you eat, it's how you eat them. Because your kidneys, much like your heart and lungs, run on rhythm. They crave consistency, not chaos. When you eat the same foods every single day, even the healthy ones, you overload the same filtration pathways again and again. But when you give your body variety and a structured rhythm, you allow your kidneys to rest, reset, and repair. That's why I created what I call the 7-day rotation system. It's not a diet, it's a healing rhythm for your kidneys. Here's how it works. Mondays and Thursdays are your apple days. Start your morning with 1 medium apple skin eaten slowly with breakfast or lunch. Apples act like gentle cleansers. The pectin in the skin binds to toxins and phosphorus in your gut, helping escort them out, instead of forcing your kidneys to do all the heavy lifting. Tuesdays and Fridays are your blueberry days. Just half a cup of blueberries, fresh or frozen, gives your kidneys a wave of anthocyanins, those deep blue antioxidants that calm inflammation and strengthen your microvessels. They also help stabilize blood sugar, which protects the delicate blood flow your kidneys depend on. Wednesdays are grape days. Choose red or purple grapes, 15 to 20 pieces, with the skin to deliver resveratrol, the same powerful compound found in red wine. It activates your body's natural repair genes, improves circulation, and protects the tiny glomeruli that keep your blood clean. And weekends. Those are pineapple days. Half to 1 cup of fresh pineapple, ideally chilled, never canned. Pineapple floods your body with bromelain, a natural enzyme that melts away inflammatory waste and gently flushes excess fluid without overworking your kidneys. One of my patients, Mark, followed this exact rotation. After years of rising creatinine levels, he decided to give it a try. 3 months later, his lab results told the story. Creatinine down from 1.9 to 1.5, swelling gone, and his energy back. "It feels like my body finally stopped fighting me," he said. Science backs it up. Rotating low potassium, antioxidant-rich fruits reduces metabolic stress, supports gut diversity, and prevents mineral overload. It's a natural system of balance, and balance is what your kidneys love most. So prepare ahead. Wash apples in lemon water. Pre-portion blueberries into small jars. Rinse grapes and store them chilled. Cut fresh pineapple every few days. These tiny steps repeated consistently transform healing into habit and habit into protection. But remember, nutrition is only half the story, because how you move, rest, and hydrate each day will decide whether your kidneys simply survive or truly begin to thrive. What you've just learned is, in theory, it's transformation I've seen with my own eyes, because sometimes the greatest proof doesn't come from a study or a statistic, it comes from a life changed. A few years ago, I met a man named Harold. He was 74, a retired bus driver from Texas, and when he first sat across from me, his eyes were filled with fear. His creatinine had jumped to 2.1 and his nephrologist warned him dialysis was next. He told me, "Doctor, I don't want to live attached to a machine. I just want one more summer with my grandkids." I could see he was exhausted, not just physically but emotionally. We started small. I taught him the same 7-day rotation system you've just heard: apples on Mondays, blueberries on Tuesdays, grapes midweek, pineapple on weekends. We lowered his sodium, improved his hydration, and built small daily habits: slow morning walks, deep breathing before sleep, and journaling gratitude instead of fear. Nothing extreme, just consistent action. 3 months later, he came back holding his new lab report. His creatinine had dropped to 1.6. The swelling in his legs was gone. He said something I'll never forget, "Doctor. My kidneys didn't just heal, my hope did." That's the moment I realized this isn't just about organs. It's about belief. The body follows the mind. Modern science agrees. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that patients who adopt positive daily rituals, from mindful breathing to structured meal rhythms, have better kidney outcomes and lower inflammatory markers. Because healing isn't perfection, it's momentum. Every apple, every handful of blueberries, every glass of clean water sends a message to your body: I'm on your side. And maybe that's what you need to hear today, that you're not too late. Your kidneys aren't fragile. They're resilient. They've carried you through decades of stress, dehydration, and medication, and they're still fighting for you. All they're asking is for you to fight back gently, consistently, intentionally. So if you're listening right now, take this as your sign. Healing doesn't begin in a hospital. It begins right here with knowledge, action, and hope. But before you rush off to start, there's one more truth: the simple yet powerful lifestyle rhythm that decides whether your kidneys simply survive or begin to truly thrive. Before we wrap up, I want to speak to you not as a doctor, but as someone who genuinely cares about your future. Because I know what it feels like to hear bad news from a lab report, to see numbers rising, to feel like your body is turning against you, to wonder if there's still time to change course. Let me tell you this as clearly as I can: there is always time. The human body has an extraordinary ability to heal when given the right environment. Your kidneys aren't weak, they're overworked. And that means the power to protect them has always been in your hands, in your choices, your habits, and your awareness. Every time you reach for clean water instead of soda, every time you choose fresh fruit over processed sugar, every time you take a moment to rest instead of pushing through exhaustion, you're telling your body, "I'm listening." I've seen it happen hundreds of times. People who felt hopeless turned everything around, not by doing something extreme, but by doing something consistent. Healing doesn't happen in a single leap. It happens in quiet steps repeated daily. Start with your 7-day rotation. Keep your portions balanced. Stay hydrated, but don't overload. Watch your salt, manage your sugar, and give your body the chance to catch up with your intention. And please don't do it alone. We've built this channel to be your safe space, your trusted source for science-backed practical health guidance. If this video opened your eyes or gave you even a small spark of hope, do me one favor: hit the like button, save this video, and subscribe to the channel. When you do, you'll not only get access to the latest medical updates and kidney care routines, but you'll also join a growing community of people just like you, strong, curious, and determined to take control of their health. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video, because each week I share new research, simple daily practices, and stories of real people who are rebuilding their health naturally without losing joy or flavor in life. Knowledge is your most powerful medicine, but it only works if you stay connected to it. So save this video, share it with a friend or a loved one who might be struggling silently. You could be the reason someone avoids dialysis, the reason a parent gets to see another birthday, or the reason a grandchild still has their favorite storyteller around. That's how hope spreads, one small act at a time. And as you move forward from here, remember this: truth healing doesn't begin with fear. It begins with awareness and belief. Your kidneys have carried you faithfully through every moment of your life. Now it's your turn to carry them with care, with patience, and with love. I'm Dr. Richard Hale. Thank you for watching, for believing in your body, and for showing up for your health. Keep learning, keep caring, and keep going, because your best years can still be ahead of you, and your kidneys are ready to take that journey with you.